Hi everyone. So today I'm here to recommend the next book in our series of Swadhyay, that is Reading and Learning Hindu Scriptures. Uh, After reading the books by Swami Vivekanand, you could now pick up Bhagavad Gita. Uh, when you want to start reading about Hindu religion or Hindu philosophy, it's better to read Bhagavad Gita once in the beginning. When it comes to ancient texts of Hindu religion, Bhagavad Gita is relatively newer than Vedas. We have the Vedas, then we have the Upanishads, we have the Brahma Sutras, we have the Samhitas, and then we have the Bhagavad Gita also. So, in that context, Bhagavad Gita is kind of relatively new, and Vedas and Upanishads, they are probably, yeah, I mean, Vedas are definitely older than Bhagavad Gita. But Bhagavad Gita is a concise book that covers almost all aspects of the Sanatan Dharma or Vedic Dharma. And hence, whether you are interested in other aspects of Hinduism like yoga, Ayurveda, astrology, Sanskrit, or anything else, it is better that you read Bhagavad Gita first so that you will get an idea of these other lines in Hindu religion. Like if you when you read Ayurveda and or astrology, and you will read what it is about, but when you read Bhagavad Gita, you will know that what the Hindu philosophy is all about, and that elements you will find in these other streams of disciplines also. So Bhagavad Gita is a part of epic Mahabharata written by Ved Vyasa. Mahabharata is a 100,000 verses epic split in 18 books. Bhagavad Gita occurs in the fifth book, which is the Bhishma Parva. Now, there are many other Gitas other than Bhagavad Gita. In essence, a Gita means a song. The Sanskrit word Gita means song. And there are many other such songs, in Mahabharata itself. Like there's a Anugita in Mahabharata, there's a Vidur Gita also in Mahabharata, there is Uddhav Gita from the Bhagavad Puran. But Bhagavad Gita has gained special importance in the lives of people in and around the world. I think that Bhagavad Gita gained more popularity once the British came to India, because they were trying to like find the one book that Hindus read, just like Muslims have Quran and Christianity has the Bible. I'm guessing that they were trying to find that one book that all Hindus read, and they kind of decided on Bhagavad Gita. But I would also say that it's not like everyone here in India reads Bhagavad Gita. I have so many of my cousins and friends who have not read Bhagavad Gita till now, though they want to, but they don't, because many of them think that Bhagavad Gita is a very long book. It will take days or months to finish it. So this is one myth I want to bust about Bhagavad Gita, that Bhagavad Gita is not a long book. It only contains 700 shlokas, 700 verses, and if you read only the translation of those verses, only the verses itself, you can finish Bhagavad Gita in 3 to 4 hours max. So hence I would say that when if you are reading Bhagavad Gita for the first time, try to read Bhagavad Gita in the original, and only the translation itself. I'm sure many of us won't understand Bhagavad Gita when the first time we read it, which is fine. Don't get disheartened. You could, after finishing the book, Bhagavad Gita one time, you could go on and read other books. And then later on, when you'll come back to read Bhagavad Gita, probably you'll gain some more insight on Bhagavad Gita. But yeah, but I would say that the first time, don't read the commentaries, because then it'll take ages for you to finish. And another thing is, like, see, I mean, these different people write commentaries in a different manner. So see, Bhagavad Gita contains like in a lot of yogas. Now when I say yoga, I mean the way to join yourself with God, with the Supreme. And Bhagavad Gita contains a lot of paths for an individual to take. Like you can do bhakti yoga, you can do gyan yoga, you can do Raj Yoga, and but the main important special point of Bhagavad Gita is the Karma Yoga. Shri Krishna in this book defines what Karma Yoga is. which I have read so many books till now, except Vedas. I have read so many other Hindu books, and this karma philosophy I have not found it anywhere except in Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna Bhagwan, Lord Krishna tells that, whichever path you choose, it leads to the same goal. Whether you do bhakti or gyan or karma, it all leads to the same goal. So uh, that is what Bhagavad Gita makes it special. Now, so what happens is that many commentaries are written by people, and sometimes in these commentaries they are not neutral. They tend to stick to that path which they took, in their life. So if like for example, if someone is a jnani type of person, so he will stick to like he might educate the gyan aspect of life. If someone is very devoted, has a lot of shraddha, then they might preach the faith and devotion to in Bhagavad Gita from the first chapter till the last chapter. So hence I think that it's better that you first stick to translation, the original translation, and later on, when you have a better understanding, then you read commentaries. uh, so now which Bhagavad Gita to read, or in I mean, from where do I read this book? So uh, Gita Press from Gorakhpur, India. They have been publishing Bhagavad Gita for since 1924, I think, and they make it available at a very subsidized rates to everyone in India. And right now, they all their books are available on Amazon Kindle. So you could probably read Bhagavad Gita from Gita Press. You could also find Bhagavad Gita in on wiki source. I will also put some links in the description for you to read. Um, or else you could just search online and pick up there are a lot of other translations written, like the one which I read, I remember first time was Bhagavad Gita by Barbara Stoll Miller. That was also a good translation. So you could also pick up that if you want. And what else? So I would just like to share my experience of reading Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I the first time I read, I did not understand it. Though though I liked the words in it. It was really soothing. I would also listen to Bhagavad Gita. I had some audio files, so I would listen to it continuously. But it's not, like I did not understand the whole self and Atma part of it for quite some time. But once I was reading this talks on the Gita by Acharya Vinoba Bhave. I will make a separate podcast on that. And in that book, in the second chapter itself, Acharya Vinoba Bhave describes the Atma, the world, and your duty. And that is when it struck me. It was like it was like everything just became very clear to me about the self itself. And since then, I have then been reading different translations and commentaries of Bhagavad Gita. And every time I read Bhagavad Gita, there's always something new for me to take from it. There Like you can never be content, I would say, in the sense by reading it. Yeah, I mean, every time you read, you always get something new to read. And so it has 700 slokas, and it has 18 chapters. And I would say that many of the, like, each shloka itself is important of Bhagavad Gita. I mean, if you just pick up one shloka of the book and apply it practically, um, I mean, that's more than enough. You will that will really help you if you are a seeker, if you are really interested in finding yourself and God. So, like, using any one shloka and applying it practically in a life, that itself will change your life. So that's my personal experience on it. And yeah, so I would say that, like I said, don't get disheartened if you do not get understand Bhagavad Gita the first time, but definitely read it once. Read it once, and then move on to the different books in Hindu philosophy. So okay, definitely Bhagavad Gita. I can make a podcast on each chapter, or in fact I could make multiple podcast episodes on each chapter itself. So once we finish talking about other books, my plan is to probably talk about other chapters in detail of this book. Till then, stay tuned, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Thank you.